Hello there, welcome to Bryan Lomax Movie Talk and my ranking of the Evil Dead franchise. 4 films. We're going to start, as usual, with my least favourite to my favourite. I wouldn't say there was necessarily a bad film amongst these, although my number 4 choice, I can't see me rushing to watch again anytime soon, but it does have some pretty creative moments in it. So, you know how these work. Let's get to it. Number 4, we've got Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 3. For me, ruined a little bit by too much humour. There was a progression across Raimi's films where the atmosphere, the darkness, all that kind of stuff kind of started to subside, and the humour, the slapstick, Three Stooges type stuff kind of started to take over. And for me, that's why this is the weakest entry. It's a bit too out there with the comedy. Could have done with toning it down a bit. I feel like it kind of lost the horror element completely by this point. But it's still entertaining. It's still creatively made in certain aspects with regards to effects and things like that. You'll have a laugh, but it's just, it's not quite on the level as Raimi's other films. Number 3, we've got Evil Dead 2, and I did really like this film, but I will say that, for one, it's more a remake than a sequel. It's kind of a remake of the first Evil Dead film, and I don't know, I didn't like it as much. I think they're able to pull more stuff off from an effects standpoint. And I think the balance of humour and darkness is pretty much bang on. It's really, really well kind of handled in that regard. But for me, I felt like I'd seen it. And I preferred slightly to have the more atmospheric version with a bit more kind of a slow build towards stuff than the boom, let's just get straight in there and have a roller coaster ride from start to finish. Again, I gave this the same rating as the original film. I gave them both like a 4 out of 5. But for me, I liked being brought into that world slowly, introduced to these characters, and then seeing weird stuff start to happen until it all kind of goes off on one. Whereas the second film, we just have no time for it. He comes straight in, and it just kind of starts almost like where the first film took 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get to. So again, it's still really good. It's a whole lot of fun. Bruce Campbell's great in it. He really puts himself through the ringer and does a lot of his own stunt work, which is clearly visible on screen. So kudos to the guy, and really great job from Raimi. I just feel like my number 2 choice was a little bit better, which is, of course, Raimi's original, The Evil Dead. For all the reasons I just mentioned, just the fact that we take a bit more time with the story, we get to know the characters a little bit more, there's a lot more atmosphere, I think, a slow build kind of atmosphere where we get the plank banging on the door, and we get the shots in the forest and stuff with the moon and the mist coming in and all. It just takes its time a bit more, and I like the atmosphere that creates. And it is a bit darker. There's not quite as much humour. The humour's there, but it's not quite as much. It's not quite as full on. So The Evil Dead, Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead, my number 2 choice, which obviously means Fede Alvarez's remake is my number 1 choice. For me, personally, it felt like the film from the bunch that had the most to say. I liked that it was kind of this metaphor for drug withdrawal, what the process is for going through that, this girl going through this withdrawal program, and people thinking everything she's seeing and doing is part of that, and just the fact that it kind of makes me think of Trainspotting, that scene when Ewan McGregor goes through the withdrawal stuff and starts seeing all that crazy ass stuff, and it's like it's kind of a metaphor for that, but it's some might argue a heavy-handed metaphor, but it's still there. I still like that it's got something more to say. There's a bit more meat on its bones. I think those first two films from Raimi in particular were more about the roller coaster ride than having anything to say. I don't come away from those films with any like lessons on life or anything like that. There's nothing coming out of them in that regard, which is fine. It's fine. They're entertaining for that reason. They are roller coaster rides. But I do feel like this one has that roller coaster ride element. It's pretty scary at times. It never lets up. It's just you know, constantly going. And it also has something to say, and I like the characters more. I feel like I know them more. We get a bit more information about them. There's the central character in particular. I feel like we're given a reason to sympathise with her. So yeah, Evil Dead by Fede Alvarez is my number one, and that is my ranking of the Evil Dead series. If you want to know my thoughts on each of these films in much greater detail, do please check out my reviews for them. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Please let me know what you think about my ranking, and let me know how you would rank them in the comments section down below. Thanks again, and until next time, cracking.